Hi, this is Larry Zorro. Hope you're all well today. Oh, I had a fun evening. I was doing a little gardening this evening. And I revitalized one of my hay pillars and made a nice hole, which I tell you in my newest book, Hay Gardening Without Bells, the Hay Pillar Method. And I used a hose today. I was really able to soak it and smash down the hay to make a really solid pillar that'll last throughout the whole season. But anyway, today I planted pepper, Grand Bell Mix, American Seed Company, only 50 cents. I put about 4 or 5 seeds in there. I plan to transplant the seeds that grow and do it somewhere else. Another revitalized hay pillar. I haven't made any new ones this year, didn't have to, but I am growing more than I thought I would today, but I had so much fun. I was doing the well pump, which wasn't very fun. I had to replace the filter. I put a home filter on there so it doesn't plug up the pipes with a bunch of sediments and rust from the casings. But anyway, after that, I went crazy making this, revitalizing this hay pillar. And then I planted the seeds. And I put a bucket. This time of year, I'll put a bucket on there with a light bulb. I'll run it through the daytime. And it's going to help those seeds germinate. None of this stuff of having a place in your house where you germinate your seeds and you have to grow them in little containers and then you have to transplant. No, I do it right in the hay pillar itself. And then I'll take a little, when they get big enough, I'll just take a little shovel, tiny handheld shovel, and I'll just dig one out, just like I did my tomato plants. I now have 4 in one pillar and 1 in another one. And when I get ready, I'll plant some more tomato plants elsewhere in the garden. But right now you can see how it's coming. I would say a quarter of it's all revitalized and it looks great. If you look at the other half of the garden or other 3/4 of the garden, it's got a bunch of dead plants, easy to pull up. That soil is so rich. When you pull up one of those dead plants, you'll see earthworms. They actually go up through the hay pillar into the soil and start making that great mulch that only worms can do. Earthworms we're talking about. All their casings and revitalizing the soil. Well, here, before I go, I want to show you a picture. I only got 2 buckets now with lights. It's warming up. Nights are a little cold. I'll put a bucket, just a plain bucket, over the tomato plants. I don't want them to get a cold or to be stunted so much because of the cold at night. I'll just put a bucket on top. In the morning, I'll take it off. But you can see the lit up ones. And they're double buckets. Like I said in my last video, this technique, a double bucket, that makes them waterproof. It doesn't matter through the rain, the hail, any storms, that bucket will be waterproof and the lights won't go out. And it's really worthwhile doing it. Well, I'm having so much fun. If you're having fun with your garden, the Canadians are really about the buck. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd have to do some research, but I wouldn't be surprised if they could start their watermelons right now. It takes a couple of months for them to get large to even produce the watermelons, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Canadians in the cold country that they live in will be having watermelon. In fact, if I was into a big garden this year, I'd be planting my watermelon now. And maybe I will. I got places out there. All I got to do is revitalize it. I've decided to have a bigger garden that I planned on. I'm doing other things, but this don't take long at all. And oh yeah, before I go to show you some of the spinach. The spinach I first grew, I'm thinning it out, and today they've just taken off. They're getting bigger. I can actually thin it probably a couple of more times. And as you thin it, they get bigger and bigger leaves. But right now, just put the little ones in with your food. You cook it. I eat beef, so little cut up tortillas with your beef. And boy, does that taste good. Well, I'll leave you with that, and I'll probably do more videos, and we got a new channel. If you're not there, it's Hay Pillar Gardening. That's the new channel. Look down below where the description is. I'll put a link. And if you're into gardening like I am, you better subscribe. You better start watching these videos, especially if you got the book. If you bought the book for $4.99, a Kindle edition, it's got colored pictures, or you could buy the black and white version in a book form. I made that cheap too. I think it's only $6.50 at Amazon. I'm going to start, I think, doing another version. It just simplifies. Maybe it'll only have 40 pages on the PDF. But, with less pictures. And, I want people to get in on it. This is so much fun. It is so easy. During the times of the Romans where bread cost a whole workman's wages for a day, they survived. The Roman people survived not by the super hyperinflation that many Americans are going to be going through. They survived by growing their own food. And I made it so easy to grow food. And you'll be glad you bought this book. The inexpensive book to help get you on the way. And you just use your clippings, use your yard clipping, use your leaves. And I tell you how to prepare that hay for these hay pillars. And you don't have to buy bales of hay. If you got enough property, maybe a couple of acres or maybe an acre, and you're growing grass, make sure it's free from herbicides. But you can use that grass, you can use your leaves. It's like making a compost pile, but it's not. Well, see you later. God bless you. I just thank God for this garden because He showed me how to do this. And I'm just talking about He'll lead you and guide you into all truth, and that's what God does. And I really call it God's garden, God's tribulation garden. Whatever tribulation you're going through, you're going to be glad that you're making hay pillars. See you later. Goodbye.